Hello, Art 7. I know some of you had questions about the project I posted today. I believe the video for the 1-point perspective was clear. That's the sheet you're looking at now. Just a couple tips if you haven't done this yet. Remember, the horizon line is key for us to know how things are going back in space. And then the second critical thing is the vanishing point. And here we're using one vanishing point. And so all of the sides will appear as if they're going towards that vanishing point. So the best way to do this is to put your pencil on the vanishing point, line up your ruler to the pencil, and then rotate the ruler to the corners of your objects. So you can see how I rotated that to this corner. I don't know if you can see that, my hand's probably in the way. There you go. Now the next step is to think about where you want the shape to physically end. Notice that I can't connect these because it's behind the front of the shape. All right, so that's important. So where does it end? So let's just look at this one in the front here. If I take my ruler and I just line it up with the top of the square, I can make a parallel line closing off those perspective lines that show the top of the object. And then I simply erase those lines so that I can see that that's the shape of the square going back in space. And you can do that with all of these. So the key is to line up something straight parallel to the side and then connect the perspective lines. And now I have this vertical line going here, so now I have to make a horizontal line going this way. This needs to be parallel to this. So I'm going to put my pencil to this point where this connected, and then I'm going to close it off, making a parallel line. And then I can go back in and erase the perspective lines. So it might be a good tip, you think, when you're drawing those perspective lines, so that you don't have a hard time erasing. What would that be? Probably not to draw put so much pressure on the point of the pencil. So that's the 1-point perspective sheet that some of you handed in already. You totally understood what to do. The next sheet in the packet was a little confusing because you were left to create your own vanishing point. So here's the horizon line. You can see it here. And now you just need to choose a point somewhere on the horizon line where all of these shapes will be going back to in space. So if I were to create, say, a vanishing point here, that would be my starting point. I put my point to the vanishing point, my pencil point to the vanishing point, line up the ruler, rotate the ruler to the edge of the shape, and then I'm going to do the same thing here, rotating the ruler until I see that, and then I'm going to continue that with all of these shapes. So line up, put the point to the horizon line with the point on it, put the ruler to the point of your pencil, rotate your ruler to the point of the shape. So notice that with these shapes shaded in, you don't see through them. You won't see those perspective lines going through the shapes. So you'll continue doing this the same way you did the other one. When you're done, drawing parallel lines to each of these shapes to create the form. So now you have a form, three-dimensional form, because you can now measure the width, the height, and the depth. And now they look like they're in space because you have a horizon line with the point showing where they're going to. All right, so the key for creating the idea of space is what? The horizon line, right? So we need that horizon line. Without the horizon line, we really don't understand how things are going back in space. So the next time you look at one of our art smarts, think about where the artist put that horizon line. Why do we have the illusion of space and depth? Okay, so this is our first 2 steps in understanding 1-point perspective. The next assignment tomorrow will be trying to translate some of these more complicated forms and complicated shapes into forms. So you'll have your vanishing point here in the middle, and that's going to tell you how to draw those. But for now, your task today is to complete this sheet and this one. Go back in and make them all forms by closing off the perspective lines. Have fun, enjoy it, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day.